the children attended my classes. Some of them perform the experiments. Some of them take pictures. Some others take pictures of experiments excluding their faces. Some of them make videos. But we can't share the videos because our class will be so lengthy. So I am excluded the videos. But it's my great pleasure to congratulate all of you and your parents who worked hard behind the screen. I can understand the efforts that you have taken. I try to include all the children. Sorry if any is excluded, it is not intended. Okay, so now let's start today's class. Dear students, in our basic science class, we are discussing about water. Our planet Earth is known as blue planet. Why it is called so? Do you know? Because 2/3 of our Earth is covered with water. So we are discussing about the properties of water in the previous class. What are those properties of water? Let's revise the points. Okay. Water can dissolve substances. It enables us to make cool drinks, to use salt on cooking, to use dyes or color to our dresses. Okay. Water is a liquid so that it have a definite shape. Water can flow so that we can carry it through the pipes and use it for producing electricity. Water is seen in 3 states of matter, that is solid, liquid and gas. By using this property, water vapor is used for making putta, idli, etc. Ice is used to store substance and used in industrial purposes. Then the next point, water can carry heat. This property is used in the cooking and sterilization processes. Then we discussed about the solute, solvent and solution. We understand what is a solute, solvent and solution, isn't it? Which substance is dissolved is called a solute. That is sugar in sugar solution, carbon dioxide in soda water, lime in lime juice, etc. are examples for solute. Okay, in the previous class, we understand different solutes, solvents and solutions. Did you notice that in most of the cases, water is the solvent? I know that you watched the basic science class in Victor's, isn't it? This experiment is performed in the Victor's class. I have posted the same along with this class. Do watch it. Okay. Let's take 3 solvents, that is water, coconut oil and kerosene. We have to test which solvent dissolves more substances. Okay. So we take a number of solutes such as sugar, salt, copper sulfate, jaggery, sugar candy and potassium permanganate. You have to dissolve every solute in each 3 solvents. Then note down your observations. Continue the experiment with other materials too. Okay. Let's have our first activity. Activity number 1. Complete the second table in page number 24 of our basic science textbook. It will be easy for you. Am I right? Most of the solutes dissolves in water. Am I right? So that water is called a universal solvent. This property of water helps us in many ways. Am I right? But there are substances also that will not dissolve in water. You know some of them. Try to remember it. Okay, now let's check it out. When the wall paint stick on your clothes, how will you clean it? Is water can dissolve paint? Or soap can dissolve paint? No, water cannot clean it. Why? Because paint will not dissolve in water. So what we use? Kerosene can clean the paint. Or vinegar can also dissolve paint. Do you familiar with the grease? Is it a water soluble substance? It's a lubricant. Grease is a lubricant. Is it water soluble? No, it will not dissolve in water. But it will dissolve in kerosene. And do you familiar with the tar? Which is a solvent that can dissolve these substances? Vinegar and kerosene are used to clean it from our clothes. So, these substances can dissolve in other solvents, but it will not dissolve in water. But most of the substance can dissolve in water. Water has the capacity to dissolve many more substances than other solvents can do. It will be much helpful to us in our daily life activities. So this is another property of water that we have to study is water is a universal solvent. Okay. Now let's think about another property of water. It's a rainy season. Did you observe the level of water in your wells? Is it high? Yes. The well in your home have much water in it. What is the condition of well during April-May months? Is it full of water? No. What will happen to the water level? What are the reasons behind it? Let's find it. So you should watch the fourth video that I am posted in along this class. Okay. Let's do the experiment in that video. Take two identical plastic bottles. It is better there are no lines or curves. Two plain round bottles are better. Okay. Put a hole near to the base of the two bottles. Then insert a small piece of pipe into the hole connecting the two bottles. You can use the tube of glucose bottles. Okay. Seal the opening left behind near to the hole after inserting the pipe with an adhesive or something like that. Seal it without leakage. That is the thing that we have to acquire. Okay. Our apparatus is ready to work. So everybody should make this apparatus. It's a simple with two plastic bottles. Everybody can collect it. Am I right? Now let's add water to fill one bottle. What's happening? The water from this bottle flows to the other bottle through this connecting pipe. When this flow of water will stops? Whenever the water level of the two bottles will be same, then the flow of water will stop. Isn't it? That means water maintains its level. This is another property of water. When we connect two or more bottles with dissimilar shapes, the result also the same. In rainy season, the water level in the soil is high. So the level of water in the wells equals to it. When the level of water in the soil lowers, the level of water in our well also lowers. There are other factors depend this process too. The sand mining in rivers affect the water level in our well. So now you are aware of the problems of sand mining from riverbeds, isn't it? It will destroy our rivers. Sand have the capacity to hold water. When this sand is carried away, the water directly flows to the sea and thus lower the water table under the soil. Okay. Do you ever or heard about the Plachimada agitation in Palakkad district? It is against Coca-Cola factory there. It's around 2000. It's in the year 2000. Coca-Cola started a factory at Plachimada in Perumatti Panchayat of Palakkad. It's a fertile land which turns to a barren land by the excessive water exploitation of Coca-Cola factory. The water level in the wells lowered drastically, which has resulted in drought. Okay, water maintains its level is a property of water. Water is a universal solvent is another property of water. We use both of it in our life. Water maintains its level is applied in the mason pipe. It's a pipe, small pipe containing water in it. Did you see it in the working site of buildings or house construction? It is used to understand the level by applying this principle of water level. Okay, we are discussing about the properties of water. Let's recall it together. Okay, water can flow. That is the first one. It can carry heat. Water can carry heat. Water is a liquid, so it doesn't have definite shape. Water can exist in three states, that is solid, liquid and gas. Then we find out 2 points through our experiments. Which are they? Yes, water can dissolve substances than any other liquid do. It's helpful in making dyes for clothes, for making drinks, making paints, etc. Okay, then the second one is water maintains its level. This is applied in mason pipes. We studied about the after effects of sand mining in rivers, right? Okay, let's perform another experiment today. Take a glass of water and put an iron nail to it. What will happen? Is it sink or float? Do you know? What will be the result? What will be the result? You should take down the, whatever be the result, you should take down the inferences or observations. Okay. Is it sink or float? Okay, the next one, put a piece of thermocol to the water. What will happen? Take down the observations you have. When we place the iron nail, it will sink in water. But the thermocol is float in water, isn't it? But these two have different sizes and shapes. Let's take two objects with identical shapes and size. We can take two bangles of same size and shape. One should be made up of plastic and the other should be of any metal. What will happen? Bangles with metal sinks and that of plastic floats for some time. Why this is happening? Let's study a new term called density for this. The substance with lower density floats above the water and the substance with higher density sinks in water. Let's do another experiment. Is there honey in your home? Yes, that's sweet honey itself. Ask your mother to give you 1 teaspoon of honey. Put it in a glass of water. If it is pure honey, it rests in the bottom of the glass without mixing with water. Why honey sinks in water without mixing with water? Again add some coconut oil to a glass of water. Observe the change. It will rise at the top of the water. It also did not mix with water. So honey and oil are liquids. Why one is sink and the other floats? It's because of the variation in density. Substance with lower density floats and substance with higher density will sink. Density is the amount of substance in a particular volume. So let's record the observations of experiments. Water. It has vacant spaces inside. These objects with vacant spaces can float on water. Okay. We can find a list of objects that are floats on water. We know that objects with a vacant space like the balloons, balls, etc. will float. Do you get a chance to travel through the water? You have studied about adaptations in previous class. Does man have any adaptations to live in water? No, man is a terrestrial organism, does not have adaptations to live in water. But in spite of his weakness, man acquired the ability to travel through the oceans with the help of ships. In warfront, we use submarines, which enable us to live and travel underwater. How man captured these victories? With the help of intelligence and knowledge that he acquired. So we should also learn to live in this world. Then what are the uses of this property of water? That is, water can float. Water can float many objects. We can ride through rafts. We can study swimming by using tires. So let's have our second activity, that is activity number 2. Substance floats on water. What are the uses of it? What are the uses of this property of water? Milk, kerosene, coconut oil, etc. are liquids. How we bought milk or other liquids? Do you have cow in your home? How will you sell the milk? Is there any measuring vessel in your home? How will you measure these liquids? We are using measuring vessels. Let's make a measuring vessel for 1 liter. Okay. It's illustrated in the textbook, page number 26. We can use a chart or paper for making a vessel. So now we are making a vessel having 10 centimeters length, 10 centimeters breadth and 10 centimeters height. How can we measure the volume of this cube? Its length into breadth into height. That is, length is 10 centimeter, breadth is 10 centimeter and height is also 10 centimeter. So 10 into 10 into 10 is 1000 centimeter cube. The smaller unit of liter is milliliter. You know very well about the unit of distance, that is meter. 1 meter is equal to 1000 millimeter. Just the same way, 1 liter is equal to 1000 milliliter. So here is our last and fourth activity. Activity number 4. Visit your nearest ration shop and understand the different measuring vessels there. Okay. Do you know or do you understand the activity? Activity number 4. Visit your nearest ration shop and understand the different measuring vessels in that. Okay. All of you try to perform these 2 experiments and post the photos in your class groups. Let's study together. Okay. This is enough for today. Rest in the next class. Okay.